Lately, I've been thinking about what it really costs to speak your truth in today's world because I'm raising kids in a time where opinions can do more than just spark arguments. Sometimes they spark division or even worse. And that really scares me as a mom and as a parent. I want my kids to be brave and to speak up and to say what they believe, but I really can't ignore the world that we're stepping into. See, food is simple. Soup simmers quietly, banana bread feeds people, cookies make people smile, but opinions, they really divide. They stir conflict and they get people judged and silenced and even hurt. And I have to ask myself, when I tell my kids stand up and be strong and use your voice, am I really preparing them or am I putting a target on them? I think back on our own story. We used to raise animals. We were a homestead. We butchered our own chickens and sheep, even milk goats for our table and our soap. And that was what we did. That's our background, a homesteading background. And then we shifted. We moved into a plant-based lifestyle because of health reasons and really just like compassion reasons as well, just because butchering animals, culling our animals, it's not easy and it's not easy to do and to see. And we kind of shifted to a more plant-based lifestyle. Mostly vegetables, lots of, tofu, grains, beans, things like that. And we started to share it really proudly because that's just who we are. That's just who we are in our season right now. And yeah, we decided to share it all. We started calling ourselves plant based or sharing vegan, quote unquote, vegan recipes because they literally are vegan or plant based. And it is a wide term to show people that it is a plant based, no dairy, type of recipe. And even that gets attacked on YouTube. People say, "Oh, you're not vegan, you have goats," or "You're not vegan because you're using honey. You're not fully plant based because you use oil." And my husband and I, we always just talk about it together. And we always wondered, like, do we really have to be labeled as strictly vegan or plant based? Or like honestly, like what do we call ourselves? What are we? Because we eat plant based and, we use a little bit of honey. What can maybe we should just not share these recipes? But no, I'm definitely going to be sharing these because I believe in them. And can we just not have our own opinions and just be happy for one another for making these health choices to improve ourselves? My husband and I, Trey and I, are total opposites. We're yin and yang. We argue, we disagree, we even walk away sometimes from one another, but we never destroy each other over it. It's just, that's the kind of world that I want my kids to know, is one where difference doesn't mean division and truth doesn't have to cost you your peace or even your safety. And then I see what's happening in the world. People celebrating violence because of an opinion, celebrating death because of a view. And it really, really saddens us and it breaks our hearts. And it makes me ask this question: what's the real cost of speaking your truth today, in this moment in time? What really shook me this week was hearing about Charlie Kirk's assassination. I'm sure you've heard it go around on the internet. And it's not because of who he was or what he believed, but really because it showed something really scary and terrifying that's happening in this world. Someone's opinion and their words cost them their life. And really, what broke me even more is the way that so many people treated it like it was just something to cheer about. Like this generation that's coming up, they're just cheering about it and celebrating it. Like death is a parade and that he deserved it and all of that. This is not even politics. This is deeper. It's about humanity and about the kind of world my kids, our next generation are stepping into. And it's so scary. Now, video. I could post this video of our food and us sharing how we are making our potato soup and banana bread, and I feel like someone is going to come for it if I call it a specific thing. Like, I'm going to call it whole food plant-based cooking. And someone's going to be like, "Oh, that's not vegan, or that's not whole food plant-based because you're using oil." Come on, guys. It's plant-based. It's soup. We're not using animal products in here. It's food on the table for us. But that's where we are at. It's people and everyone just feels entitled to kind of like cut each other a little bit and cut each other down, to really divide instead of nourish and be happy for us sharing this recipe. It's just for motivation, it's just for inspiration, whatever you want to call it. But it's just, we have good intent behind our videos, and somehow someone will definitely call us out. And that's why parenting really is very hard, because I don't want to raise children who are scared of sharing their opinions, whether it's about faith, politics, food, their lifestyle, whatever it is. But I also don't want to ignore the reality, and that words really carry weight now. Sometimes they even carry danger. And how do you balance that? How do you tell your kids, be brave and speak up? Don't be afraid of sharing what you truly believe in, when you know the world may not be as kind back. Now, I think about it like these cookies. So, they're very simple ingredients baked with lots and lots of love. But depending on who looks at them or who eats them, someone will say, "Oh, they're too sweet," or "They're too processed," or "They're not healthy enough." And yet they are like a little treat. They feed my family. They still bring lots of joy. And isn't that what opinions should be? It's kind of like something we bring to the table, knowing not everyone has to love them, but at least respecting that they exist. You don't have to take a cookie if you don't want one. You don't have to not like it or say something about it if you think it doesn't look good. But you don't have to throw away the whole plate in the trash just because it's not your taste. And you certainly don't have to hurt the person that brought the tray of cookies. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really wish the world remembers and thinks about, is opinions don't have to divide us. They can be like recipes, different, yes, spiced one way or another, sweeter here, healthier there, but all of them come from somewhere, and most of the time it comes from the heart. And all of them can teach us something if you're willing to just taste with an open mind. And it's always an open mind. Try something different. We teach the kids to try new things and explore different cultures, different foods from different cultures, different languages. They're doing Duolingo on their own, and they're immersing themselves. And just try it with an open heart and an open mind. So what really scares me is how quickly disagreements has turned into destruction. You can disagree with Charlie Kirk, you can even hate his views, but what happened to him was truly, truly sad, no matter what your view is. But celebrating his death, that's pretty bad. That's teaching the next generation that difference deserves violence. And if that's the lesson, what does it mean for our kids, your kids, the future? Do we raise them to hide their voices and just to stay safe because we ultimately want them to be safe as parents? Do we tell them to just keep your thoughts quiet, keep your opinions small, and don't stand out because, that's you just need to be safe and we don't want you to get hurt? And truth be told, that is not the kind of life I want for my kids. That's just not freedom. You hear freedom of speech here and there, but it's really not freedom if you have to keep quiet in order to be safe. I would rather my kids grow up knowing how to speak their truth with courage and compassion and understanding of the other party or whoever that opposes, even if it does cost them something, but it is scary. And because silence is not safe either. Silence is losing your thoughts, losing yourself before anyone even takes you. And once we raise a generation afraid to speak, afraid to question, afraid to think, then we've already lost the future. Charlie Kirk, I remember him saying in one of his videos, if we stop talking, then bad things happen. If you think about marriages and divorces, if you stop talking, divorces happen. Just bad things also happen when you stay silent. And please don't get me wrong, this video is not about politics, not at all. It's not about left or right. It's not about, all that. It's about remembering that disagreements should just never mean destruction, and that voices should never, ever, ever cost lives, no matter what, period, full stop. So right now, I don't know where we're at, but I do know that I can't raise the kids in fear. I can't tell them to just stay silent just to survive. What I can do is just show them that their voice matters all the time, their opinions matter all the time, what they think does matter, and if they know it's the truth, to believe in it, that it is the truth, and that how they use it matters even more. They can speak the truth, but also speak it with kindness, and just be aware, and they can stand firm without tearing other people down as well. At the end of the day, it's not about being the loudest or the biggest. It's about being honest. It's about being truthful. It's about knowing your words have the power to build and to possibly affect somebody. If they have an open mind, if they have an open heart, your words could potentially plant that little seed that can grow into something even bigger. And affecting that next person that they speak to, it could happen in a year, it could happen in 15 years. You don't know what's going to happen, but if they feel it in their hearts to speak up about something, I would encourage them to definitely speak up. And here I am ending with these oatmeal raisin cookies. They're simple, they're sweet, they're of course never perfect. Some people love them, some people will hate them, some people will say, oh, it's going to come out really ugly, but they're made with lots of love and they feed my family. And that's just how opinions should be. They shouldn't be weapons. They're not reasons to divide, just something we each bring to the table. I want my kids to see that, to know that their voices are worth sharing, even if not everybody likes them. Speaking up with courage and compassion, that's what feeds a future worth having. And for those of you who are looking for a recipe for these vegan, plant-based, whatever you want to call it, oatmeal raisin cookies, I am still perfecting them. They are going to come out soon. I love a oatmeal raisin cookie, and I am also adding some coconut milk in my potato soup because this makes it nice and creamy. But it is fall now. It's beginning to be fall, and I am getting in the mood for lots and lots of baking. You know me, we love to bake around here. I can't wait to grab some pumpkins and make pumpkin everything and spiced everything. So just keep an eye out for new videos coming soon on our baking. And so maybe the question isn't what's the cost of speaking your truth? Maybe it's what's the cost if we don't stop? Because a world without courage, without honesty, without freedom of speech is a world already starved, failed. Thank you guys so much for attending my TED Talk today. Today's video is really just me cooking soup. We made some potato and broccoli soup for the kids. We were baking some banana bread because we had just a ton of bananas that were really brown. We made oatmeal and raisin cookies, and me just reflecting on what is happening in this world, because this world is crazy right now, and really just trying to make sense of it as a parent. I write on deck a lot about parenting and what's happening in the world right now, and lots of really fun, humorous things, but also really intimate, heartfelt posts and essays and articles. If you want to connect with me on a personal level, please subscribe to me on Substack. It is Rosa Writes Echoes of Chaos. I will have the link in this description just so you can see it. I write on stories and things that I really don't share on YouTube, the messy, the honest, the really heartfelt notes on family and food for really overwhelmed parents. If you are, I would love to connect with you. And creative dreamers and those who crave connection over perfection. If you take anything from today's video, let it be this: bake, cook, do you, be joyful and be happy and share what you can, because even in a divided world, we can choose to bring something good to the table. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you are new, we would love to have you here. We'd love for you to subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.